10 things I want to know about you with Dr. Hayes. We will take your question. So, 10 things I want to know about you is a segment I started when I started streaming in the pandemic. Everyone started streaming in the pandemic. But now I stream here, so you can find me here. But it's a 10 of 100 questions. They're totally random. And we're going to draw 10. And we're going to learn 10 random things about Dr. Sarah Hayes. So, I'm excited. I mean, I feel like I already know you, but I feel like I might learn some things that I didn't already know.
You know me very well. This is going to be great. I'm excited.
All right, question number 1. What is your go-to order at Italian restaurants?
Italian?
That's what it says.
I love Italian food so much.
Don't we all? If you didn't love Italian food, I would end this interview early.
Goodbye. I mean, I don't know the names of the dishes very well, but something that's definitely... I love when a combination of sauces happen and lots of cheese. So usually it's a noodle dish with a combination of like sauces and cheeses and toppings and protein. I love me some like pancetta. Give me them cheeses and proteins and sauces. Yeah, chicken parm. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm hungry.
It sounds like you're just... How is this different from hot dish? Wasn't hot dish noodles and cheese and sauce?
Hot dish is not quite as flavorful. Like Midwestern food is more bland in nature. Like the quintessential hot dish is kind of like Hamburger Helper.
Okay. That's not how I pictured it in my mind at all. Okay.
Yeah, it's baked Hamburger Helper with probably cheese or something crunchy on top.
Okay. So your go-to order is not one. It's not. You don't always like. I always get the bolognese. Always because that's how I know.
No,
if it's a good restaurant.
It's completely based on mood. In Seattle, I used to live right down the street from this really great little Italian spot that only had a chalkboard. There was no like online menu. It was all farm to table. It was rotating menu.
Right. So you don't know what's there till you get there.
And so I would love to go there and just eat whatever hit my mood on the menu, but I'll eat most Italian things.
Warm bread.
Breadsticks is always an option. Yes.
There was olives. And the oil with the... Okay, now I'm 7 months pregnant. We should not... I drew the wrong card. That's all right. Uber Eats exists for a reason.
We'll get there.
There was a restaurant...
Cooking noodles, like, dang it!
I know. I am also Italian. I'm Sicilian. I have pasta in my fridge, so I might be warming that up later.
Oh, yeah.
There was an Italian restaurant up the road from the university where I did my postdoc, and you could get... It was delicious, and they would make pasta from scratch, and there was a pasta where they would make the pasta hot and bring it out one of those hollowed-out Parmesan wheels, and they would scrape the Parmesan, and they would throw the pasta in. Oh, my gosh.
That's a dream. And then a little pasta water, and make it thick.
Yeah. If I could fly to Germany just for that pasta, I would. It was that good. It was that good.
Worth it.
Margarita pizza with fresh arugula eaten on the water in southern Italy. Well, Eve.
That sounds...
Yes. I would also do that. That sounds equally delicious. I shouldn't have picked a food question. That wasn't on purpose, but oh man, yeah.
Although we just talk a lot about food. Hot fruit?
I feel like if you join me every third Monday here on the Take This Twitch channel, there's always a lot of food talk when it comes to me. It's just
delicious.
The way
into it.
It is. Okay, so question number 2. Do you have a favorite podcast? Kind of a hard one. There's a lot of podcasts going on.
You know, I'm a weird person for media taste when it comes to my personal consumption when I'm not doing homework for clients. So I listen to a lot of podcasts, like The Adventure Zone or My Brother and Me for clientele, and then I get into it and it's exciting. I'm trying to remember the one that I like. There's a true crime one I like. So I don't recommend one that I used to listen to, although I listened to it for a long time. So I'm not going to name that. But there's one with Karen Kilgariff. That's a non-recommend. That's a non-recommendation. Karen Kilgariff and somebody else, they always say stay sexy and don't get murdered. It's a murder pod. They like review and comment to one another about the stories of like murders and
true crime.
Like,
there's so many true crime podcasts. Like I feel like, is this like a fad, or have you listened to these like forever? Because I feel like people talk about true crime podcasts a lot now.
Yeah, I've listened to them for a long time since, like, I started out in forensic psychology,
Okay.
so
So
that
yeah.
means
Yeah.
legal involvement. So if I didn't do an internship in Seattle in a medical clinic, I was going to be at a prison. So I had an interest in legal for a long time. So I'm trying to remember what the name is, but I can't remember. So
If anyone knows the name in the chat.
yeah. One of the hosts is Karen Kilgariff. I don't remember the other one's name, but
My favorite blank.
oh, my favorite murder. But I won't let you write the word murder.
Oh, thank you. There we go. Thank you. I missed it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We just can't write the word murder.
Yes, which is probably a good thing.
That's fair. We're gonna keep it that way, I think, for now. But
so there is a podcast to check out for those true crime fans if you are not aware. I don't listen to too many podcasts, although there is one called Rabbit Hole, which is produced by Kevin Roose. He's the New York Times digital correspondent, and it's about falling down the rabbit hole of YouTube conspiracy theories. And it's most excellent. So I'm just going to throw that out there for people who want.
Into it. Into it.
So good. I picked a controversial question. Although, and it's a little past the season because it's January. It's more of a December question, but we'll go for it.
Okay.
It's okay. Thank you for skirting around the automod. True or false? Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Reframe? That's a reframe? Die Hard's a movie. It includes the theme of Christmas. It is not definitively a Christmas movie to me because I didn't grow up with it, but I get the argument and I'm cool with that. So,
Very good. Sure.
I'm pretty flexible as a human.
No, she didn't refuse. She said yes. She says it includes the theme of Christmas. I think that is a perfectly acceptable.
Here's my thing. A Christmas movie is simply a movie that evokes the Christmas feeling or season to you. So for some folks, that's true.
You. That was a caveat you threw in at the end because it doesn't really evoke the season. Of
course, my answer is it depends. Of course.
Well, okay. Side note, not on there, but what is your like go-to Christmas movie then? For you,
White Christmas or Elf?
Elf is so good.
Yeah. I also like to look around at all of the new ones. Like the Happiest Season was definitely big in queer circles this year.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that with Kristen Stewart.
Yep, I haven't watched it either, but I've heard good things.
I do like Kristen Stewart.
But I've also been a person where like I'm more a Christmas music person than a Christmas movie person, and so then like I've only watched The Christmas Story like 2 years ago for the first time, or like this last year was the National Lampoon's. Was the first time I'd ever seen that. So, you know, I know.
For those who don't know, I almost disowned Sarah a few months ago when she said she didn't like gummy bears. And now I feel like I can't believe you've never seen National Lampoons. Like I'm surprised it never came. I know, but I mean, no shame. I'm just really surprised that it never came across on your television growing up.
We watched The Grinch a lot. My dad was a big original Grinch cartoon fan.
Yeah,
We're big on the original Grinch or like the Rudolph claymation.
Yeah, classic.
Frosty the Snowman, the claymation. Those were the ones we would like rotate in my house.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
No shame, only
an occasional side eye. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm an equal opportunity Christmas movie human, okay?
Yes. National Lampoon is a wonderful. Elf is also wonderful. My children watched Elf for the first time this year, and they were over the moon. They loved it so much. Yes. Next question. You're getting all the controversial ones, but
okay,
you can hang. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Both. Unequivocally both.
Really? Okay, which Star Trek do you...
coming.
Which Star Trek is your jam? Do you have like...
OG.
Really?
Next
gen. OG.
You can enjoy Next Gen. I'm just here for the OG.
Yeah. Next Gen Star Wars. Next Gen Star Trek was like the only show I could watch with my parents because it's like the only thing they wouldn't watch my shows, and the rest they were watching like Matlock and things I wasn't into. But have you been watching The Mandalorian?
Oh yeah, I'm caught up.
Yeah.
Super into it.
Mandalorian.
I also have not seen.
Oh yeah, The Child. You have The Child somewhere in your house.
I do have The Child.
Yes.
It is currently in a living room somewhere. Baby Groot made it on the desk, but not The Child.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
I've been slowly chipping through the original Star Wars movies in the like fan selected order.
What's the
And so I'm
fan
gonna
selected order? It's not chronological. You mean
It's
like not like watching
not
the newer
chronological.
ones? Yeah, yeah.
No, no. It's like 4 something else, 5, the Clone Wars
Oh.
series,
Oh, really?
6,
Oh, Clone Wars
1,
is good.
3, 2. I don't know. That's not actually it. I'm
Oh,
just saying like
machete order. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
Das Biff. Yes. 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is the order.
Yep.
Which you're watching it. You impress
So
me, Das Biff. Continually.
that's that.
That's fair. I've never even heard of that. I'm going to bring that up to my
Yeah.
husband because he's huge. I also like Star Wars, but
Well, also Star Wars, but the problem with Star Wars is there's so much canon that you can't just be like, I love the movies, because then it's like, well, have you read the books? Have you seen the comics? Have you seen the graphic novels?
Well,
have you
I
seen
mean,
the like, spin-off TV shows? Have you seen the spin-off cartoons? Have you seen the Christmas special?
the
It
cartoons
was
are really
terrible.
good, though. The cartoons.
The cartoons
Clone
were
Wars.
wonderful.
Yeah,
The Christmas special is the only thing that's it's like
it's the only thing. Yeah, it preserves sense. Yeah. Well, also, I think that people who weren't into traditional, like the newer generation, the youngins, although I guess we'd be in that category, we weren't alive when the original Star Wars came out. I think that Mandalorian is bringing them back in, like bringing them into
absolutely.
seeing,
Yes.
to watching the old
Yeah.
stuff.
My mom watched the finale last week and she called me and she's like, Sarah, this happened. And I was like, yeah, Mom.
I know. I want to mention. I guess I won't talk about it because there's probably some people here who haven't seen The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
We can talk later about that. Next question: do you speak any other languages?
Not particularly. I can spell most things in American Sign Language, and I know a few words in ASL, and then I also speak a bit of Spanish, enough to be able to like survive in a country where Spanish is the predominant language, but not enough to like converse logically.
Right. You could find the autobus and the biblioteca.
Right.
That's my
or
Spanish.
the bathroom or a beer.
Baño, cerveza. Okay, I know those words. I took, my mom is Italian, she's fluent, but she didn't teach us. And I took 1 year of Italian in college. And like 5 years after I took my singular year of Italian in college, I was in France with my dad, and there were these Italian tourists looking for directions in France. They came up to us, spoke in French. My dad was like, says in French, he speaks a little bit, like, I don't speak French, but do you speak Italian? And they light up and they're so excited. And my dad goes, okay, I can't give you directions in France. First of all, I don't know where I am. Second of all, my language is like that cerveza baño. Like I can't. I can get a coffee in Italy.
I took a year of Russian in college. That was fun.
Oh, I
The
bet
first
that
thing
was
we had to
interesting.
learn, and that was pronunciation, like toast, tossed, or like
No, it's not. Is it?
astronaut. Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
Why
my
did you
favorite
take
word
Russian? Oh, go
in
ahead.
college for fun? For
Oh,
fun. My favorite word was excuse me, which is prostitie.
Oh, that is fun.
Yeah, it just
And
feels easy
in
to
German, I did my postdoc in German. It's Entschuldigung, which I pronounce terribly, but I was like, that's the longest word for excuse me I ever heard in my life. I can read all the menus in German. I'm very bad at pronouncing German. I'm sorry if anyone speaks German and they just had to hear my terrible German. But I lived there for like 2.5 years, and we would go to restaurants and I would order in German and they would respond to me in English, and I was like, I'm trying.
Yeah, they knew.
just-
They see you.
They see me. Yes, I feel seen. Okay, so Sarah and I did a season of a podcast last year called Brain Noodles,
Yes.
and we had a whole episode about this particular question, but the people here may not have heard it. Do you use a physical planner for scheduling? We literally talked
multiple episodes.
for like hours about planners. So please tell us your views on planners.
So I don't know if I have it next to me. I should look. I don't think I do, but there's one called the Hero's Journal. That's my favorite. And here's the thing. I love planners. I love organization around office supplies. In front of me, I, no joke, have a cup full of multicolored felt tip pens that are very fresh on purpose because I'm just super into that. But as a person with ADHD, it is very difficult for me to That's my dog.
Dogs.
It is. Hi, you want to come and say hi? Come. Don't say hi,
Dogs
Alice.
always welcome. Hi, Alice.
So I'm not very good at reinforcing that behavior for myself. I'm good at like doing it for a while and then not. Once I get into the habit, I'm good. I have not successfully done one for a long time. You are just kissy man over here today. So the Hero's Journal is my favorite because it is a book that is built around reframing a goal into enemies and allies. And so who are your foes, who are your enemies today?
Oh, cool.
So maybe it's procrastination, maybe it's fatigue, maybe it's access. There's lots of reasons why we might not be able to achieve a goal, but then there's also what are the things helping us, what are our allies? And so it does that, and then it has illustrations in it, and it's kind of an adventure format over a period of 3 months, and it'll have the theme and the story shift along as you go towards conquering your dragon. And so it's just really neat, and they even have a community online that supports one another. That's my favorite planner.
It sounds like a bit of gamification, right?
Absolutely gamification.
Yeah. Gamifying our lives. I also did talk to somebody, I don't know, a couple months ago, and they're talking about augmented reality and the future and this augmented reality. And I said, and I was talking about like the future is now. Like I feel like we live in an augmented reality, and they were like, what? And it was like gamification of like everything.
Yeah. Well, kind of.
Kind of.
I mean,
Super Better kind of.
Is an app that's gamified, but it's also around like doing things. Habitica is a game that even features. Not that this was an intentional plug, but like Habitica is gamified like goal task list that includes stories and adventures that you can do, and it even includes stuff from our org, including our Psychomancer. So something worth checking out. But their cool. Gamification is very helpful, not only for folks with ADHD and neurodiversity, but also for general population.
Well, just like we were talking about earlier, like getting achievements in Stardew Valley. Like when my phone is like, you walked 10,000 steps today. I mean, the ping and the notification and the badge, and I mean, those all have real impact on our motivation and our mood.
Yeah.
So the future is now. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look into that Hero's Journal. Yeah, the Hero's Journal, I like the idea that it's goal based on so I use planners semi-religiously. But I like that it's focused on a single goal, right? Versus like your day plan.
Very targeted. Yeah.
And
it still has room for you to like make notes on your day or things you're trying to whatever. Otherwise a good busy planner is the one that I try to use. Because it's less schedule oriented and it's more oriented towards like goals and to-dos.
Okay. Yeah.
But
my brain
bought that
requires
for 2020 and that was a massive failure.
Well, yeah, so Dr. Kelly Dunlap, who's our community manager and running the Take This org in the chat here, said, of course, Rachel would have a question about planners. She also bought her first planner in 2020. So she's not super into planners. But I don't like to organize hourly, but I like to be able to see like a month of what's coming. I don't know. I feel like it helps me mentally prepare.
An agenda,
yeah. Okay, next question. What is the best video game you've played in the last year?
Best?
Over COVID, what was the best game, new game?
That's so hard.
What did you spend the most time playing?
Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to say Eastshade.
Okay.
And
is that on your phone?
No. It's on the Game Pass for Xbox, and it's an Xbox game, but I think you can play it on PC as well. It's on Steam. It's a non-combat, immersive, open box adventure. You're a traveling artist. And so you paint the beautiful landscape around you.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
That sounds very therapeutic. It sounds very cathartic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And you get to adventure and pick plants and make tea. And then you can...
I mean... Yeah, I can't. I'll have to check it out because I can't picture like a non-combat JRPG. I don't know. Is it indie game?
Yeah.
Is it?
Not a JRPG.
Forgive me. I thought that's what you said.
No.
Just adventure, just like sandbox.
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. Okay. not to put you on the spot, but it says, give us one piece of advice. So it could be about anything.
My brain immediately always says drink more water, but I'll also say don't forget to like do something that is unequivocally for enjoyment today, even if it's for 2 minutes. Do something that just makes you feel really great.
That's great advice. Self-care doesn't have to be elaborate.
No, it can be, but it doesn't have to have anything to do with spas or days off. It can also include wearing your favorite slippers to a meeting or on a Zoom call.
I might be wearing pajama pants. Maybe. They might also be the only thing that fit me now.
That's okay. Mom life.
That's mom life. What is the last good movie that you saw?
The last good movie. Does it have to be new?
No.
I mean, I've been rewatching Star Wars. That was really cool.
That's true. Well, do you have a favorite in the series of Star Wars movies? Is there one that you particularly stands out as your favorite?
Gosh, what a lame answer. I'm trying to think of what movies I've seen recently.
She hasn't been on screens lately, so maybe that's not really.
And then concussed brain. I'm like Dory over up in here. I'd have to look at my Netflix watch list, but I feel like I've watched some good stuff. I mean, gosh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I mean, have you been watching, like, I haven't watched that many movies. Like, I've been watching a lot of series. Have you been watching any good series?
Yeah. There's so many good series. So I have, for those of you watching, you're learning very intimately my taste in media, so I apologize again. I'm all over the place. But I didn't watch Bridgerton, but I did, Kelly, tell us, what is that TV show that you were, The Great was really good. I've been catching up on a lot of things I've been meaning to watch, like Gentleman Jack. I love The Magicians. Season 5 just came out on Netflix. Doom Patrol, if you have HBO Max. That was stellar. Very much in its genre, but well done.
I haven't seen any of those. I will slightly mention Bridgerton. Everyone's been talking about Bridgerton, and I was like, cheesy romance. Not my jam. But everyone kept mentioning it, like everyone, and I was like, I feel like I'm missing out on a cultural phenomenon if I don't watch this show.
The equivalent of Tiger King.
I'm converted. Yes. And it's funny because the same thing happened with Queen's Gambit. I didn't watch it for a real long time, and I was like, it's trending. Everyone was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to watch it. Also, stellar Queen's Gambit.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
Offshoot that I haven't seen trending, but was super good that I watched was In the Dark. It's about a woman who is blind and has a seeing eye dog, and her parents run a seeing eye dog charity program.
Netflix?
And yes,
that sounds good.
It kind of turns on the head what we assume life is like, or people are like when they are visually impaired or
interesting.
have similar,
very cool
life situations. Like she's a heavy drinker. She's very selfish. She like her personality, but you fall in love with her. She's one of those personalities where she grows on you and kind of wiggles her way into your heart. So very compelling storyline. There's
so much content. It's overwhelming, I have to say. Like I log on to Netflix and it's like, we have 750 new shows. It's like, oh my God, I haven't finished one.
That's like the only place people can make money right now.
Well, that's true. I do like that new movies are coming out on streaming platforms. That I appreciate greatly, and I feel like should have always been a thing. And we talk a lot about things that we'd like to stay, things that happen because of COVID that we'd like to stay. I would very much like that to stay. I especially kids movies. I'd rather pay $10 and watch it at my house than $100 to take my children to the movies.
Well, and you can make popcorn at home, and then you don't have the 20-gallon soda. You can just have a soda, although out here we call it pop. I did watch Wonder Woman 84.
I have not seen Wonder Woman.
My thing is, it is true to the time in which it was depicted. And so there are some things where like movies from the 80s haven't aged well. Some of the things portrayed in that film
don't age well. Yeah. Even though it's made
immediately age.
Yeah.
But,
I did read some reviews that there are some things that sound a bit like off about it. But speaking of superheroes. Have you been watching WandaVision?
No. It's on my list.
Show, maybe there's
It
someone
came
in the
out
chat
right
who can
after I
enlighten
got
me.
concussed.
Oh, it confuses me. I'm watching it. I don't know what's happening. Okay, we have a big yes. I'm reading articles that are giving me like spoilers, but it still doesn't make sense to me. I am all 3 episodes in. I'm just pushing through. I love Paul Bettany. I don't know. I'm just gonna go for it. But
Same.
I don't know. On the fence. Last question is: do you like to garden? You a gardener?
Virtually or real life?
No, I know you like to ranch. Slime Rancher is
Slime
also
Rancher. I love playing Star.
You said
I
virtually.
love Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So all of those, I'm totally cool with it. Only in Stardew. I do. So in my clinical office before COVID and everything in my life happened, I had an office that was geek chic forest themed. So I had a ton of plants, tons of plants, tons. And I was planning like a sound dampening canopy of felt succulents that I had made larger than life, which is now sitting in plastic bags in my storage.
You should get back to that. That's some good crafting you could be doing right now, is making felt plants.
Well, cross stitching, and that is hard on the hands. The cutting of the leaf shapes was very hard.
Oh, I thought you were saying cross stitching. Cross stitching is hard on hands too. No,
I'm gentle
not so much.
with it. I got big enough Ada fabric so the holes aren't too tiny. So when I do the cross stitching, it's not hard. Yeah. And I use an embroidery hoop, which makes it yet easier. But then I grew up doing it. My mom did these big elaborate cross stitches. But where were we?
Do garden.
Gardening. So I love plants. I've never gardened. I've never had a garden other than ones that my mom would bug me to go water in her backyard in the summer when I was growing up.
But you have indoor plants. That's gardening still. I mean, indoor.
Yeah.
Gardening.
I'm a novice, but I'm into it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I kill a lot of plants. I like the plants. It is
my dogs
good
want
for
to
your
eat them, so it's harder.
Yeah, that's true.
My dog Fury, if she can reach it, it goes in the mouth. So I tend to keep a lot of things up higher, not in my house. So.
She's still a puppy.
She is.
Well, thank you for obliging me. This concludes 10 things you want to know about you. I will say, so this year, last year when I did this, I would put them back in the bin, but then I kept drawing the same ones. So these questions are gone now. These are only Sarah's questions. No one else will have these questions this year.
No one gets to know about planners but me.
You got the planner question. Look, Dr. Dunlap, you're off the hook if you won't get the planner question if you ever come on here to come chat with us.